Hey, Chris,
Yeah, Fred.
what's a Mason?
That's a really good question, Fred.
You've reached the internet's home for all things masonry. Join Chris and I as we plumb the depths of our ancient craft. From the common gavel to the trowel, nothing is off the table. So grab your tools and let's get to work. This is On the Level. Brother Chris,
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Fred.
Hi. We are,
We are back.
The honors keep coming.
Yeah,
And,
this is something else.
Our interviews have reached their crescendo at this point. We are welcoming in Most Worshipful Lambert here.
Grandmaster of Masons of Florida.
Say it the way it's supposed to be said, because I'm a bonehead.
Most Worshipful Robert Lambert.
Thank you.
Grandmaster of Masons of Florida.
That's it.
Is there a more prestigious way to say it than that?
That's close enough.
I
You've
got
heard it.
I got an
Yeah.
idea. Let's start that over.
What?
You want to start that over?
Why?
All right, fine.
No.
Fine. All right.
Try to edit
Hang
us.
hang me out there like that.
Oh, because you made a mistake?
Because I made a mistake.
Definitely keeping that in.
All right.
Definitely
all
keeping
right,
that
all
in.
right.
Yeah, that 3 hours of sleep is really starting to kick
It's
in.
starting to kick in, yes, sir.
He was
Yes, sir.
chugging coffee before. I guess it's wearing off.
Oh, this is
huh?
going to be more entertaining.
Yeah.
It wears off quicker and quicker.
Really?
The longer you go.
It
That's
happens
right.
with addictions, you know.
Addiction, yeah.
Yeah.
This show is not technically about me and my problems, so let's. Just,
I would
let's
like it
go
to
go
be.
back.
We're actually enjoying about your program, so go ahead.
Thank you, Most Worshipful. I'm glad he gets the show immediately.
Okay, all right.
It's about demoralizing Fred.
What we're actually here for is to highlight the 2013 Grand Lodge Communication here in beautiful Orlando, Florida.
194th Grand Communication.
194th.
194th. That's something else, man. What a privilege it is to be a part of something like this. You know,
Yeah.
this is the first time I've been to one of these, and it's absolutely been amazing for me. I mean, absolutely off the chain. I don't want to go that way. Most Worshipful, first thing we want to thank you for coming on the show. And would you please, we know you, but our fans don't know you. Can you just give us kind of a little
everyone
introduction?
in Florida knows you for sure.
Everyone in Florida knows you, but maybe the guy in Israel or Zimbabwe doesn't know you. And would you introduce yourself to us and give us a little history of your Masonic career, if you would, sir?
Oh, my Masonic career stretches many years back in history. And by the way, this is 2023, not 2013.
He caught it. He caught it. See, he wrote it
You
down.
need to get out.
And he showed
You're
it to
out.
me, but you caught it. Oh, we are going to get along so well.
I have the power of editing, so just keep it up, mister.
Nope, the Most Worshipful here has the power of editing.
Yeah, that's true. He does have the ultimate delete button.
No, I have contacted the man who owns the ultimate delete button.
He told us about his delete button.
Oh, yeah. Believe me. And what it is, you just start to fade out.
Yeah, right. It's a fader. It's not a delete button. It's a fader.
Yeah, you just fade out of existence.
Like a ghost, you just kind of clothes fall to the floor.
But
No.
yes, if you would, sir.
Yeah, my Masonic history probably starts back personally when I was 13 years old.
Okay.
My father asked me if I wanted to be a DeMolay. And I had the opportunity to join the youth group of young men. I was around some excellent leadership, because nothing better than our advisory board. These men had experience from all over the world.
Wow.
And they were teachers. And I progressed to that all the way through till I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
Which at that time, that's when I would join the Air Force, so I had a
Okay.
little hiatus from it all.
Gotcha.
Had a lot of fun in the Air Force.
Well, okay. I'm sure.
Did you fly planes?
I didn't fly them. I fixed and worked on F-16s.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's cool.
So does that mean you worked on ships?
No,
that's an
okay.
actual
Navy.
jet. That would be a jet.
Okay.
F-16 is a...
I know
It's a
nothing.
fighter.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
It was the ultimate fighter.
Okay.
Uh,
From the Top Gun movies.
Yeah.
Oh, no, those guys flew it.
Dang it.
No.
It's not.
He
it's
worked
not-
on
I
the
know
single-seater, badass fighting...
They had the B models, which was a double-seater.
Oh, was it?
Oh, yeah.
The F-16. Now, is that the That's the Tomcat?
No, that's the F-14.
That's the Ford. Okay,
That's
okay.
Navy.
That's Navy. Gotcha.
We won't talk about them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Don't
Were
talk
you
about
Navy,
Navy.
Zach?
He was
Okay,
Marine, so-
we have a Marine with
Yeah.
us here.
We.
No crayons, huh?
Oh.
Oh boy.
He is armed, probably.
Well, more than likely. What are you talking about?
He's armed and he doesn't have a mic. So okay.
Yeah,
let's
we have the
move
power.
on. Move on.
After that, I came back and went ahead and joined Temple Terrace Lodge.
Oh, okay.
Didn't stay there too long because I was on the other side of town. I lived in Hillsborough County. They're basically on the east side. I lived on the west side. So I wasn't overly active.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But then a brother of mine, Arthur, by name Arthur, asked, why don't you come over to our lodge, which was about 15 minutes away from my house.
Okay.
He was named Arthur Meyer. Very good man. And I did. I visited. I thought, I need to train. If I'm going to stay active and get my money's worth,
Right.
I need to transfer my membership. And I did that.
What lodge was that?
It was Holyrood.
Holyrood.
Mhm.
Okay.
Holyrood number 257.
And what year was this?
You had to
I
ask the
know.
year.
Sorry.
Oh, that was probably mid 2000.
It would be ironic if it was 2013.
No. No, but believe it or not, something interesting happened in 2013.
We'll get back to 2013.
Yeah.
Oh, we
So-
will.
So by 2010, I was master of the lodge.
Okay.
At that
Wow.
point, yeah. So I'd already
Wow.
been about a 20-year Mason at that point.
Okay.
Then
You're a young guy then, right?
61.
Okay.
Okay, for all those 20-year-olds, I'm an old guy, but whatever. Yeah. But in 2013, Most Worshipful Danny Griffith made me one of his district deputies.
Okay.
And that was a chance to meet a whole different group of brothers. Because usually when you're in your own lodge and district, you have a tendency just to be around these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I had a chance to be around guys from all over the jurisdiction, the
Mm.
entire
Right.
state of Florida.
Right. Right.
Panhandle to the Keys. And it makes it so much more fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine.
I'm finding that to be true because we only in our district, in District
Sure.
23. But the more I go around to other lodges and meet other brothers, the better this thing gets.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and their experiences in life and everything else.
Right.
It's just so much more fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
After that, Most Worshipful Steve Boring asked me to be his pursuivant. Don't ask me what that job is. It's a long title, and you've only got 15 minutes.
Is that
Okay.
a Blue Lodge
Yes.
position?
Yes.
Really?
It's a Grand Lodge position.
Oh, okay. That's why I've
Basically-
never heard of it.
Basically, he's the Swiss Army knife of the Grand Lodge.
Oh, okay.
You need
Ooh, I
somebody
like
to
that
do the prayer.
position.
Yeah, you do the prayer, or you need to fill in for this guy or that guy.
Kind of like a
Help the
marshal in a
marshal.
Blue Lodge.
It's the marshal's marshal.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right.
And then Most Worshipful John Karoom asked me in 2017 when he was deputy grandmaster if I'd be his grand marshal,
Okay.
which made it even more exciting.
Right.
And at that point, I'd already been thinking about the Grand Line, getting the elected Grand Line, but I had a really exciting, fun year working for Most Worshipful Karoom. Brilliant man.
Okay.
Just
People speak
amazing.
so highly of him
Right.
with a reverence.
Oh, yeah. He actually passed away on Tuesday of his year as Grand Master at Grand Lodge.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
He had just been.
Wow.
He was like. It was the day after, the day of. He was no longer Grandmaster. That
No,
happened?
he was still Grand Master.
He was still
carted
Grandmaster.
out of here. Now,
Wow.
technically, he physically passed away a couple days later, but
Collapsed at Grand Lodge.
he collapsed at Grand Lodge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Looked at his district deputies and said, "We got to keep going. We don't have a choice."
Wow.
That
they
must have
did.
been a tough situation.
Well, they worked hard for him, and they were proud
Yeah.
to work for him,
Sure.
Right.
and they had every right to be.
Wow.
It was
That's quite a story.
Which
Man.
happened to be the day before that was when I actually was elected junior grand warden.
Okay.
Mm,
So it was an exciting
Right.
mixed
exciting
emotions
mixed emotion
there.
day.
Yeah.
especially
Yeah,
come
absolutely.
Wednesday morning.
Big
it was-
highs and big lows there.
Sure was.
Wow.
But and I just try to kind of follow some of his examples.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the pleasure and honor of working underneath Most Worshipful Turlington and underneath Most Worshipful
Mm.
Foster. And
You were a lucky charm? Is that what he called his folks?
technically, because I was in the Grand Line, but and
That's
we-
what he called, I think, his group. Like you have the Legion. What the
Lambert's Legion.
Lambert's Legions? Yes.
So
Oh, okay.
we let the district deputies pick their names
Okay.
because
Oh, for the-
we wouldn't pick the things
Right.
that they pick. It's like they're the ones that got to live with it. So we were Danny boys.
Oh, okay.
That's Danny Griffith.
Oh,
So,
okay. I
yeah.
see how this works. Okay, I get it.
Oh, Danny boys.
Yep.
Wow.
You had Foster's Fleet last year.
Oh, okay.
Because he was a Navy guy?
Mm-hmm.
Uh huh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but it was very enjoyable to have a line of brothers that you knew and worked well with,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that was reflected out to the craft.
Yeah.
It definitely comes across when you guys do your Grandmaster official visits and we see you guys interacting. You can
Right.
feel how much fun everybody's having together.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's like encouraging, I think, to everybody else to see
Sure
that your
is.
Grand Line is enjoying their time and they're
Mhm.
really enjoying each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We want that in our Blue Lodges.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sorry. So
So
here we are, Grand Lodge, and tomorrow begins a new chapter for you.
Absolutely.
What's the year been like? Give us the 30,000-foot view here of your year. What stands out to you?
The good stuff that stands out is the fellowship with the brothers.
Yeah, of course.
I had a very interesting opportunity. The DeMolay had their international conference here during my year.
All right.
And as a senior DeMolay, it was very exciting to be announced in as the Grandmaster Masons of Florida, walking in amongst all those brothers.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a real touching moment for
That's
me.
quite an honor.
It was. I would say the most single challenging thing, and Floridians hate this word, hurricanes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
boy. Our
Right.
poor district deputy dealt with that.
Yeah, I had two of them that were hit very, very hard.
Yeah.
But they handled it with skill and grace. If anything positive came out of all that, was watching how the brothers worked together.
Rallied.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
rallied,
Yeah.
They took care of their lodges. They took care
Yeah.
of their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
We had a group of brothers that took care of over 1,500 families in Fort Myers.
Mm-hmm.
Think
Right.
about that. They were on the ground working
Mm.
when the Red Cross didn't come in until a week later.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was it Right Worshipful Dobbs and District Deputy.
That's our district
Grandmaster
deputy,
Haber.
district instructor of 23.
They were in Port Charlotte the day after.
Yes.
They were down there the day.
They looked
the
at every
day
lodge in our
after.
district the next day.
The next
Yeah.
day, every
Yeah.
lodge they went and checked in.
If they
with.
could get there. There were some that
Right.
they couldn't
get to Punta
or-
Gorda.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Couldn't get
Well-
into Punta Gorda. Right.
Yeah, that Saturday, we were supposed to have our official visit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But-
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
At Robarts, but that turned into an emergency response center for the
For-
hurricane.
for
Absolutely.
FP&L. That's
Yeah,
right.
We knew that was not going to happen. But that Saturday, we gathered a group of brothers together with supplies, generators, and things like that. And we started heading south in Tampa. Now, normally Fort Myers is about a 2.5-hour drive.
Yeah.
We were over over 7 hours.
Right.
You know, we ended up all the way in Sebring to get around to finally get to a bridge that we can get over to Peace River.
Right.
To get down there.
Get down in there. Yeah.
It was horrible. But
It was a tangled mess, man.
oh, it was. Everything. I mean,
Yeah.
I give credit to the power companies. They were
It's
already had the
incredible.
poles. You stuck in one traffic jam. I sat there and watched them pull this broken pole, pop the hole, put the new pole on, hang the line on it. In less than 10 minutes, they're rolling down to the next one.
Right.
Incredible. They have it down to a science. Really something to watch. And I wish I didn't have to sit there and watch it.
Yeah. Right.
It led to another good thing, I think, because that district visit you were supposed to have for us turned into a really intimate thing at a lodge. Something I never experienced, really.
Yeah, we went inside in order to make the visit happen. We'd do a town hall meeting.
Yeah.
Instead.
Yeah.
When we did a lot more casual.
It was very casual and intimate.
It was very much more intimate. It was a lot more fun, to be honest with you.
Was it for you fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did.
It was for us as for me, anyways. I felt just less.
Yeah.
I don't know. We
being
were
out
like
in the-
together. It felt like we were just together. It wasn't
Absolutely.
like a.
Well, I tell the guys I hate podiums to begin with, so I step out into the crowd and
Yeah.
into the brothers and talk to them one-on-one. So it was a lot more interesting that way.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
And we talked about like, man, that was actually really nice. Maybe
Yeah.
we should think about doing more intimate things in the future.
Without a hurricane.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like
without a hurricane. Yes.
Yeah, without the hurricane part.
it's a struggle for the district people because they want to show you guys their respect through
Sure.
the pomp and circumstance
Yeah.
of the whole thing, you know? So
Yeah.
we don't want to think the Grand Lodge people to think we're a podunk little poor community who can't give you a good reception. But at the same time, I saw the value in it, I think.
I did too, because personally, the pomp and circumstance is not what excites me to begin with.
Yes.
It's the excitement of the brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what's
And you
really
got to
fun.
That's what
feel
it's
it in
about.
that setting.
Oh yeah, and particularly the young brothers, the new ones, because they always want to get your title right, and they stumble through it.
Totally right.
And you just want to chuckle a little. And you have to remind them, brother works. It's the greatest title any Mason has is brother.
It's good for you to tell those new guys that too.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
message they really need to hear early on, because it'll stick with them as they become people of power and
Absolutely.
position, and hopefully
have
they'll
to-
think the same way that you do.
Sure, they have to understand once you're out of that position in the East, you are back on the sidelines.
How apropos of you to say that, since
Yeah.
you are about to be there
I'm about to
yourself
be there.
again. And I'm
Right.
staring it down. I'm 6 months away from that, you know.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of worshipful masters that I've seen are very looking forward to that.
Sure.
Did you find yourself looking forward to the end, or did you find yourself just trying to enjoy the moment of it all and
I
taking
think
it all
enjoy
in?
the moment. I think you got to look at it with a little good and sad.
Yeah, like-
sad to finish.
yeah.
At the same
Yeah,
time,
right.
it's
A little
good to have it.
bittersweet, right?
It
yeah.
is a bitter and
Yeah.
sweet. That's the right word for it. And particularly when you've got a good relationship with the guy coming behind you, I am so
That
proud.
makes it a little easier to step
Sure.
away,
I
right?
am so happy to see him have this opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so much fun to be out with the brothers because they want to learn something. They want to listen to you.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure you got something intelligent to say.
Well, that hasn't been a problem for you.
Yeah, that's right.
Some moments, I get tongue-tied like anybody else, and I get tickled sometimes when somebody's doing something right in the middle of me trying to do something where I'm trying to look like I'm intelligent.
Right? Yeah.
You know, we like to see that our leaders are humans.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
I think it's a good thing if you can laugh at yourself a little bit
Sure,
as a
absolutely.
leader, you know, and
Absolutely.
it shows us it's okay to make mistakes every now and then.
Well,
And
that's true leadership, though.
Yeah, it
You're-
really is.
It really is. I mean, look, there's a place for it. Has to be done right, and you
The
have to,
reverence
you have
of-
to
yeah.
you have to set the bar and set
Yeah.
the standard. I
Sure.
understand that, but to not take yourself so seriously that you lose perspective. I've heard you talk about the brothers sitting here at least 6 times now. And that's obviously that's what's important to you is the brethren, is the craft, the guys. You know,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's not the me, it's the we.
It's right. Yeah,
You
that's
know,
great.
I always remind myself that nothing that I've done successful has been me.
Mhm.
It has been the people around me.
Right.
It's been the craft. These guys are what makes it successful.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
people say that about you. Most
Sure.
worshipful. They say
I'm sure
that.
they say a lot of things about me.
Oh
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
especially lately. Gee, no, just kidding.
Just mostly about the jeans thing.
Yeah, the
It's
jeans
really
thing
that.
is a big
Oh.
deal.
Of all the things you did, it's going to be the jeans thing that you're remembered for,
You know what's funny about that? One thing, I wasn't 100% hooked on that to begin with,
right?
but I found it so interesting that the problems we have with membership, money,
Yeah.
lodges, conditions,
Right.
in the last 20 years,
You
one
saw more
thing
passion.
about one word, jeans.
Right.
You know.
That's so
And I get
ironic,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah, and
Ye-
people said you're not from a farming industry. You don't understand. You must work in the city. I got news for you. I baled hay in Indiana.
Right.
Yeah, I heard you
So I
saying
get
that today.
Yeah,
I think
I come from a farming family. I come from a bunch of miners.
that's
uh,
important for people to know. Did the
yeah.
people know this about you? I didn't know that about you.
Uh,
You come from
I don't brag.
a mining. Tell us a little bit about
Oh,
that.
my
He's like,
grandparents
I
on
don't
my
want to ever
mother's
talk
side,
about
yeah.
this.
My grandparents on my mother's side from Rockville, Indiana.
Mm.
Push for Rockville.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to
Yeah.
Rockville. That's right.
My great grandfather, I think it was, his property. My grandfather and his dad actually mined under their own property.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Some rare Beverly hillbilly situation.
Well, it's
They-
rare because usually the mineral rights are owned by somebody else. So that's
back in
yeah.
those days, nobody thought about minerals.
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they had their own mineral rights. So they
Yeah.
mined and farmed the
They
land, or
farmed
just
mostly in that property they mined. because
Okay.
it was kind of hilly.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's rich with resources under
Oh,
there.
sure,
Yeah. In that
absolutely.
part of the country. Absolutely.
Now of course, they didn't strike it rich because you can see, I'm not driving a Mercedes.
Well, everybody assumes to be a Grand Lodge officer, or
Mhm.
especially a Grandmaster, you have to be super wealthy. Like the average everyday Mason, I hear it all the time. And I have no idea what it takes to do this or, financially. You could set the story straight. What does it take of a person to become a Grandmaster financially?
It doesn't take a lot of wealth on a personal basis.
Okay.
It takes a lot of desire, particularly because I'm still a working man.
Really?
Yes.
You managed to do all this and have a
this.
full-time job.
A full-time job.
Wow.
Wow.
I work in the IT industry, so I can
Right.
control my time a little better than some people.
Sure.
But you still got to put it in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And you're
I did
traveling-
not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Well, I knew you were an IT guy.
Yeah.
But I thought you were retired.
No. In fact, see, the previous past Grandmaster, he was still working. I'm still working. The incoming Grandmaster is still working. And none of us are wealthy. I can tell you that right now.
That word is kind of relative, right?
Yeah. Well, but I will say that anybody that's planning on running, because you do got to do a lot of traveling on your own
Yeah.
time.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right.
They don't reimburse you for the travel,
Not for that.
huh? Ooh.
It's probably about between a $10,000 to $12,000 investment for a $75 jewel.
Right.
Yeah.
If
Well.
it were for the jewel, but it's not. Obviously.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I
Right.
get the pun though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you do have to be willing to put a little bit into it.
So the investment's more in time than it is money in reality.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's
Put a lot of time.
it's an absolute labor of love and
Oh,
passion.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That there is no the money. Those are numbers, and I get the numbers. I understand it.
That's the
but
story people tell themselves. Oh, those
Yeah.
guys are all rich. And
oh, I
they're
hear it all the time.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and it's like I don't know, man. It can't be that. You can't get that far because it's got to be passion. It's got to be a love and a desire. Because I don't know this for sure, but you can confirm this. You take a lot of crap along the way, man. When you get to where you're at, you got to deal with a lot of stuff, man. And if it's not a passionate labor of love, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to.
excruciating.
It'd be excruciating.
In my opinion, you do some, but again, you just got to be willing to think it through.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of ways, it's like running a lodge on steroids.
Right.
Oh, boy.
And again, you highly rely on the experience of your secretary
Uh-huh.
to be able
Right.
to help you through those humps.
And you're lucky there.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
Our grand secretary, don't ever tell him I said this, is an amazing individual. Okay?
Don't worry, he doesn't listen to the show.
Oh,
He
good.
Yeah, he
confirmed
doesn't
that.
listen to the show. He
Might
just
wanna
confirmed it with
erase
us.
this out of the program.
Beep.
But
We
he's-
have a delete button too, sir.
There we go.
Uh,
But you just have to be willing to think things through.
yeah.
Do not let your emotions take over.
That's
Yeah.
the hardest part, right?
For some people, it is.
Yeah.
Me,
It seems like
was
it
kind
would
of
be.
a mid-ground. There was things that somebody hit me with, and I just had to take several deep breaths before I spoke.
Right.
And
That
there's other
old
things-
count to 10 rule.
Yeah, it's and mostly those are when somebody did something bad.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and because you're like, I surround myself with good people.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Right.
don't expect that.
Right.
And
Yeah, and right, and then it hits you upside the head,
Exactly.
and you got to take that step back, which I'm very bad at, and not react.
That's
which
why you're
is-
not the Grandmaster of
But
Masons.
then you're not the Grandmaster of Masons of Florida, and it's very Masonic.
yes,
That's a very Masonic attitude, right? Because
Circumscribe your passions.
circumscribe those passions, man. Yeah, be in control of yourself. That's right.
But that's what good leadership looks like. It's not about, you said it at the very beginning, it's not about me, it's about we. And when you take me out of the equation, it's a lot easier to not get so upset about things.
That's
you
right.
Yeah,
know?
you have to understand it is a team effort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I tell everybody when you're the leader, there's two things you have to remember. When it's successful, it's the team.
Mm-hmm.
When it fails, it's you.
Right. Right. And that comes
You
with the
take hit.
territory. That's
exactly.
right. That
You-
comes
and
with
you
it.
have to be willing to accept that, even though it may not have been your idea. It may have been not you out there doing it. You are the one responsible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do not lay it on anybody else's lap.
Yeah. No, that's true leadership. That's right.
So
And
do you
that's-
think your background in IT helped you with this analytical thinking to problem solving and
It definitely
Freemasonry?
helped my troubleshooting
Yeah.
mentality. Because
Were you-
I like to go through start with the basic and step your way through it.
Right.
You know, wait till you can get up to the point of the solution.
Yeah.
You have to do it patiently. And again, you have to take the emotion out of it. You
Mm.
just work the problem.
It's
through.
hard to do because we see it
Sure.
all the time in Freemasonry. Rarely is anyone getting paid to do this stuff.
No.
It really is a passion thing because we believe in the principles so
That's right.
much and they're so important
Sure.
to us. it's so hard not to be passionate about things when they don't go your way, or you know what I mean.
You get emotionally invested.
Yeah, because you are emotionally invested.
Right.
You are.
Yeah.
And it's hard to cut it off sometimes when it doesn't. You don't get what you want, or something bad happens.
Right. Well, for me, I try to defer. You know, so you can be passionate. Your passions are you. It's who you are, you know. And when somebody strikes at something you love dearly like that and you're passionate about, you've got to defer. Yeah, I'm angry and what you did was wrong, and I'm going to deal with this in the right way in a minute. Right? I'm going to defer the entire emotional package that I want to throw in your face. I'm going to defer all of it until I'm in a better place to deal with it in a Masonic way. And that, like I said, I just said it before, that's a very Masonic attitude. You're circumscribing those passions.
We saw it today, and you talked about it with, I think we were talking about it with Richard Lynn, because you proposed some, it was a ruling and decision, I believe, that was out there about the jeans specifically.
Right.
I know it's not just jeans, but that was the thing.
Right,
It was a dress code thing. Is what
dress code
thing.
Yeah. And, your intention behind it, almost everybody that spoke against it agreed with you. I heard them all say, I actually agree with you.
That was the funny part, wasn't it?
Right? Everyone agrees that this is a problem.
Everyone on this show as well. We totally do.
But at the same time, they're like, and I understand where they're coming from, because I'm a sitting master, and I had to read it to my lodge, and I had to beg them to please comply, because I'm the one that someone could bring up on charges if something goes wrong. So in my mind, that's where I'm going is, whatever becomes law, I have to execute.
Right.
And if there's unclear things, I get worried because I could be held accountable to this stuff. And I know the spirit of it. And I even told our lodge when I brought it up, go ahead and bring me up on charges and let's see how that goes. That I didn't let a guy come in because he didn't have a tie on, or, you know, something happened. Like, I'll gladly defend myself in that situation. But I think that's the hang up, is people get caught into that. Oh man, that word could get me in trouble if I go this way or that way. And you got caught in that semantics game.
So can you kind of,
he held his temperament. You didn't get angry. You weren't like upset about the whole thing. And even at the end, we just moved on. There was no hurt feelings, you know.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And that was a great display of what you're talking about, being able to kind of separate yourself a little bit and not get overly emotional about things as a leader.
Yeah, well, you have to accept the fact that not everybody's going to agree with you because you're so smart. Why are you laughing at me over that?
Well, I get it all the time. I'm a master.
I still have access to that delete button.
That's right.
Do us both a favor and hit that. Do him the biggest favor and delete that.
Well, what I was going to ask is, if you're willing, can you share with us a little bit of just the thought process? Because I know that regardless of how it played out, and I think in the end it's going to end up becoming what it was, but the thought
because
process, because I know
everyone
in your
agrees
heart,
it's a problem.
What you were trying to do was from your heart for the betterment of the craft, because that's what you always do. But what was the thought process through it? Can you share a little bit of that with us?
The thought process of, again, there's part of me that thought about this as, this is not going to pass.
Right.
It's just not going to pass. But can I get everybody thinking about it?
You certainly have, sir.
I will tell you, again, I'm repeating it, of all the problems we have, the word jeans
became the
focal point for
lit a fire.
Month. It did. I mean, I can not tell you the number of emails I got
over jeans. Jeans. Right. Yeah. Yep.
And accusing me of violating the Constitution of the United States, which, by the way,
holy
I had to
cow.
swear to. Yeah.
They were going that far with it?
Some people were getting passionate.
Wow. That's crazy.
But I think what you were saying is you started a conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, because I, for one, do want to see better dressed men in our lodges.
That's the thing. We all do.
Yeah, we all do.
Everyone, even that opposed this, literally said, I actually agree with you. I feel
right.
like we all agree this is a problem that has to be addressed.
I think it gives the opportunity for something a little better written,
a
little more defined to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It wouldn't surprise me if somebody didn't bring up legislation the next year or two to
wouldn't surprise me at all. In fact, if they're not working on it, maybe we should get working on it.
Yeah, absolutely. The conversation's not over, but it's a good thing the conversation's on. And the other thing I wanted to share with you is we have a young a Mason brother, his name's Sean Cooney, who was in there.
Oh, yes.
He was in there during the discussion. And he came out just absolutely starstruck over witnessing a representative government system that worked. It really worked, you know. The guy in charge was proposing an idea that the people were not necessarily in line with. There was discussion, there was passion, and in the end, everybody agreed on, not everybody liked the ideas that came out, but everybody agreed that we're moving forward in this direction and we'll take it up again or what. That was a perfect example in his eyes of representative government. And for that, I say, and the way you handled yourself was absolutely so utterly Masonic to him and to all of us. It was a perfect example of a government that worked. It worked.
Yeah.
Right.
And those moments of contention are when you have the biggest opportunity to show who you really are to people. And you did it. You did it.
You did it.
He got chills. He said, I literally have chills from when I just saw this. And I told him, you know, we were doing this before we had an American government, just like this.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And you think about it, when you look at how we change power, the moment Glenn lifts his hands off that Bible, he is in charge.
Right.
Instantly. There's no this transfer of power that you see happening all the time.
Recounting the hanging chads
Oh,
or whatever
please.
the situation is.
You are in charge.
Right.
I am now another brother on the sideline smiling and cheering you on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you'll never be just another brother. You're always going to be
We hope
most
not.
worshipful to us.
We hope not.
There's no, and it's probably the wrong word to saying just another brother, because every brother is super important.
Yeah.
But I get a chance to be now to watch the next leader take over.
Yeah.
And there is no form of government in the world that follows as accurately as Masonry does.
That's right. Absolutely true.
Unfortunately, but we just need more Masonry in government. That's what we need.
That's another subject for another time.
That would be another topic for another show, and for another 3-hour show, because that one could go forever and ever. Absolutely.
But it's true.
So
we need more Masons in the world.
What positive thing? What one thing? I don't know if I already asked you this. I didn't. What one thing? What positive thing did you accomplish this year that you're proud of? That you're going to look back on and say that, you know, I'm happy. Not necessarily you did, but your administration and you accomplished. That was that was something that you're going to look back on fondly.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Over here, guys. We're doing a show, guys. Over here.
The Grandmaster's needed in just 2 minutes for dinner.
Okay.
So we can't keep him too much longer.
Well, he is the Grandmaster,
yes.
so that can happen, and and we're gonna.
He trumps our needs. Trust me.
He trumps our needs. So all right. So in that case,
in 2 minutes, can you say?
No.
Okay. None of the legislation, none of the rulings. To me, that's not the focus of all this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was an opportunity to show the brothers, I'm your brother. I may be in charge today. I will be sitting in the audience with you tomorrow. I am your brother.
Yeah.
To me, there was so many people have caught that.
Yeah.
I had a brother say, "You're one of us."
Absolutely.
That was exciting.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, wow. You know, because I don't need to be in the limelight. I don't need, when this is done, for people to pat me on the back.
You don't seem like a guy who enjoys the limelight terribly much, like you need to have all the attention.
Granted, it's fun, but you have to also remind yourself constantly that this is going to be over.
Yeah.
And you are, we talked about PGM, past Grandmaster, means prestige gone, man. Past Grands will
prestige
tell you
gone, man.
Yeah.
That's it. You have to prepare your mind for that.
And you've been to past DD past Worshipful, so you've on smaller scales, you've kind of been there and done that, and you had some help, right? Some background in this process already.
You get some experience through that.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the wisest things we do about being able to be in the Grand Lines. You have to be a past DD. Because that way we know your feet have been in the fire.
Right.
Because you dread
You've seen
that
some
2
of that.
o'clock in the morning, 2 in the morning call from the Grandmaster saying, "I need you to swing by there tomorrow with a chain and lock, and please get that paper off the wall."
Oh.
Yeah.
You have nightmares about it.
Yeah.
Right. Sure.
But it's just it's that excitement.
Well, I again, I know you got to go, and if we're big fans.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you've done for us.
I think it's agreed. I think you're going to be remembered for your passion for the guys, your passion for the brethren, and I think that's a great way to be remembered. And it is my hope that you won't be on the sidelines, because your love for the brethren and your love for the craft needs to remain, and it needs to continue into this new year. And I know that it will.
I will work at the will of the Grandmaster.
There you go.
That's
right?
the way you look
That's
at
it. That's how you look at it.
It's either way, it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be an exciting year.
And Glenn Bishop, I wish him nothing but the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll make me proud if he's super successful.
Well, maybe this time next year we'll sit in the seat and we'll talk about just how successful he was.
That's it. Well, being an ex-Marine, you might find a whole other thing. But
yeah,
I'm
well,
sorry,
maybe we'll
there's
get
no
Zach to talk
such
to
thing
him.
as an ex-Marine. I keep forgetting
That's right.
that.
That's right.
All right. Well,
I get the impression he's not a guy who's accustomed to failing, though. So I think
Probably
he's going to
not.
find a way to make it work.
He is a switchblade player. He will not switchblade, but switch army knife player.
Switch
He will
Swiss
change-
or switch?
Swiss.
Okay.
Swiss army knife. Hey, I get a little tongue-tied every once in a while. But I think he has the skill to be able to change direction in an emergency.
Mm.
Mm.
That's
and be
critical.
Able to keep things going.
Right. Yeah. That's that. You got to refocus. Right. You got to change direction,
Absolutely.
refocus, overcome. That's right.
And while everybody else is running around with their hair on fire, you got to be the guy that sits down and say, we'll solve this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's think about this,
Yeah,
guys.
we can
Yeah.
make this work. Don't worry. We will solve this.
Yeah. Most worshipful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We won't be here tomorrow. We're taking off tonight to get back over to Sarasota. But we are so blessed, honored, and thankful that you came on the show.
It's been an honor.
We're like I said, we're big fans. Anything you need from us ever.
Yep.
As far as this podcast goes, it continues to grow. We are at your will and pleasure. You just holler at us. The show is at your disposal. Anything you need.
Try not to embarrass you or Grand Lodge.
We'll try our best, but we embarrass a lot. We embarrass ourselves, so that's goes with
Mostly you.
mostly me.
Oh, don't worry. I have a skill embarrassing myself quite well. So
Oh, you're in good company.
Well, you and I should talk.
Yeah.
All right, my brother Chris. Another great opportunity for us to talk about our favorite subject.
This is crazy.
And
yeah.
on the podcast, this was one for the records. This was great. I'm humbled.
We would
and
greatly
honored.
appreciate you being
Yeah,
here with us.
absolutely.
I
I
appreciate the
know how
opportunity.
busy you are, especially
Yep.
here at Grand Lodge. And
Right? Yeah, they're calling for you. They're
oh
probably
God,
standing
yeah,
right
there's
out
probably
there right
20
now.
guys out there.
Yeah, there's 20 guys out there.
Yeah,
we need our
that's-
Grandmaster.
It's probably the crew right now wanting to know where I'm at, and so
right.
They were polite enough to slip a note through the door instead of barge through. So
Well, brother
kudos
Chris,
to them.
again, another great show. For those
Thank
of you
you.
who are
Thank you,
listening,
Fred.
this has been our podcast. If you made it this far along, you're our biggest fans. We're really grateful for you guys listening in and for all that you do. Shoot us some emails, Fred at onthelevelwithfredandchris.com, and the coffee's wearing off, or Chris at onthelevelwithfredandchris.com. And until next time, we will see you. Don't forget, guys, go back to your lodge and build it strong.
it's still 2023.
Yeah.
Oh.